Welcome to the Mic is Hot with my pop
Kane is in
DJ
the building.
Thomas.
Say greetings and welcome to the Mic is Hot, one of Atlanta's hottest sports podcasts in the state of Georgia. I'm your host, DJ Thomas, where we talk sports around the ATL. So tell a friend to tell a friend that the mic is hot right now. And without further ado, let me introduce you to my co-host for today's show. Ladies and gentlemen, again, Mr. Eric. Eric, big time Falcon fan. Go ahead, man.
Hey, Dennis, how you doing, man?
Hey, good, man. This Thomas, man. All right, appreciate it.
Hey, Thomas.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, listen. We had one show tonight, and we had some technical difficulties on the keyboard here on the board, and so I promised Eric that we're gonna hit this thing hard, man. And we talked a bit. This is part 2 of the president versus the NFL. And again, I'm going to say that the comments of this show is the comments of the callers of this show is not necessarily the comments of the show. So everybody got an opinion, and what we do here, the Mic is Hot, we want everybody to give their opinion on how they feel about our topic for the night. And the biggest thing we got here tonight, one of the things that's going on in the news, it's been all over the news, that the President of the United States has made some comments about the NFL, and not just one, not two, but several comments, and talked about that the controversy appeared to be some, in so many words, that the NFL players are disrespecting the flag. And I totally agree, because it's been said many, many times on many, many networks. I've listened to Fox, ESPN, you name them, all the sports network. And the whole controversy is people think that they're thinking, and the way it's been portrayed is that the NFL players are disrespecting the flag. It's not about the flag, and they're not disrespecting the flag. I made a comment earlier about if you were at church and your pastor said stand up, and he said bow your head, and he said close your eyes. But how many people actually close their eyes? How many people actually bow their head? How many people actually stand up? Just because you don't stand, bow your head, close your eyes, doesn't mean you're being disrespectful, because you are quiet. You're sitting there and you're praying in your own way. And I look at the flag, this flag situation the same way. They're not moving around. They're not doing anything. Only thing they're doing is taking a knee, and they're basically bringing attention to injustice in this country. But it has nothing to do with disrespecting the flag. Disrespecting the flag, in my opinion, is when you're making noise, you're walking around, distracting other people, trying to show respect for the flag. Just because I don't put my hand on my heart doesn't mean I'm disrespecting the flag. First of all, I want to go back and say I am a former member of the military. Have family members in the military. And I don't know, Eric, were you in the military?
No.
Okay.
I was a lover.
Okay. Probably had family members that were in the military itself. So, yeah, I disagree. I wouldn't like it either if people would disrespect the flag. But, I'm not just saying my opinion, but many others and millions of people, once you read and understand and listen to people, what they're saying, they're not disrespecting the flag. It's not your flag. It's our flag. It's the flag of the United States of America. We are united. And from comments I'm listening to the president say, our flag. It's not our flag, your flag. It's to everybody's flag. So the problem is it's been a lot of controversy, and it's in the NFL. Normally we don't do shows about politics. I stay away from politics. It took a lot. We talked about this all week, and as a matter of fact, the last couple of weeks. And yourself, Eric, and many others I've talked to, and they brought it to my attention that we need to bring this on the mic. We need to talk about this. It's something that needs to be heard. And I feel like I've been holding in for a few weeks, and I think you have, and several others. So tonight's an opportunity for myself and you and others out there that want to text or email us at themicishot@gmail.com, or go on Facebook Live right now where we are. Not the Facebook Live, I'm sorry. Where we're on Facebook. you can leave a comment, and we'll next time we come on live, and I'll go on and I'll talk about your comments. But so as I talk so much, let me just remind people that they can actually go on, tell a friend to go on the Mic is Hot go on www.speaker.com / the mic is hot, and that's spelling THEMIKEISHOT, and you will hear us live, and they will hear us live no matter where you are in the country. We're also streaming on TuneIn, iTunes, Twitter, and a couple other social media sites out there. So we're out there, folks. If you missed the show tonight and someone told you you should have been on the Mic is Hot last night, you should have heard the show, you still can go on iTunes and Twitter and all those places. iTunes is one of the most popular ones out there. If you're Apple only, you can go on TuneIn. But before I talk too much, I'm gonna pass the baton over to Eric and let him give his opinion on this comments that the president's been making about the NFL. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, first of all, I think we're all missing the whole boat, and we're all playing into Donald Trump's hands. It's all Donald Trump is doing is causing a diversion. He's causing dissension and division amongst black and white. Basically, all he's doing is playing into his constituents' hands, the alt-right. That's basically all he's doing. He really doesn't care about anything else. He's just trying to appease his voter base. And in his voter base, this is what they really get excited about. They get excited about anything that has anything that's totally opposed to what black people are doing. That's what this is about. It's not about Donald Trump doesn't care about the flag, about disrespecting anything. You look at his history, he disrespected McCain. Now, if you are that concerned about your flag and Americans and everything else, you're not going to disrespect McCain. McCain was a war hero. His grandfather was a war hero. His father was a war hero. If you look at how he disrespected that gold medal family, if you're a true American and believe in all the things that he's espousing, then you wouldn't do those things. So it's not about the flag, the knee, none. He could care less about stuff like that. It's all about Donald Trump. If you remember correctly, to give you a perfect example, is this past weekend, Peyton Manning flag, this number got retired at the football game. Okay, you got a first round Hall of Famer, that undeniably going in the Hall of Fame on the first round. Okay, that's not a question. It's not even a debatable issue. So what does Trump do? Trump sends his vice president there. Okay, and he tells him, if anybody takes a knee, then you get up and leave. Of course he knew they were going to take a knee and get up and leave. So when they took the knee, Pence got up and left. What's the first thing Donald Trump did? First of all, he takes credit and dumps accolades on Pence for leaving, which is what he told him to do. And then once he left, he started using that as a fundraising tactic to raise more money. So where does the money go that he raised? It's going to his legal defense fund to garner a good defense against Mueller's Russian investigation. So it's all a part of Donald Trump's master plan. That's all that's going on here. And when we're going around talking about the knee and Kaepernick and all this other stuff, all we're doing is playing his hand because this is diversion. He's like a magician. If you watch the left hand, the right hand is really what you need to be focused on. And that's what we're doing. We're focusing on the wrong hand. And while we're focusing on the wrong hand, he's robbing the chicken coop of all it is. That's what's going on there.
Robbing the chicken coop.
He's robbing the chicken coop of all it is. That's what he's doing. It's not about the flag, it's not about anything else. All he's doing is throwing gas on the fire so he can raise money for his legal defense fund. That's all he's doing.
Well, I would agree with you in a lot of ways, and there's a lot of stuff you said that was to hit home for a lot of people and making it clear of what's going on and how your opinion on how you feel about Donald Trump is doing in this controversy. And I said earlier, and I said in the first part of this segment, is that what happened is all the controversy, all the conversation. There's a lot going on in this country right now, and I have to believe it. One thing I'm a true believer that these owners are billionaires. They're billionaires, and a lot of football players in the NFL are millionaires. And one thing about owners, they don't like being told what to do, and they don't take very lightly of the president or anybody else telling them how to run their teams. That's why they have these meetings and they discuss stuff. It's not going to be very easy to go in and say, "Hey, make these players stand up and put their hand on their chest and whatever." I mean, it's going to be something that's going to probably go through some. They're going to have meetings with the Players Association, the owners will meet, and they might come to some type of solution. But what I would say is, all the controversy that Donald Trump has brought the light to, he has accomplished. He has helped Kaepernick accomplish what he has been trying to do. The whole idea for Kaepernick was trying to bring the light to injustice. So now the president has tweeted back and forth, made this thing bigger than it was before. It was small when Kaepernick did it. Even though Kaepernick doesn't have a job right now, it was very small. But now it's big. And now people see. So therefore, clap your hands. Let me do this. Mr. President, thank you.
That's not really what he's done.
He's done that. He's brought more light to. He's brought more light to injustice than what we was trying to do throughout the whole time.
Not really. What he's done is he's diluted what Kaepernick did to such a small, minuscule amount that we're not even talking about what Kaepernick did and what he's doing and what he's doing.
Oh yes, they are. If you watching the media,
what we're talking about is the flag.
He's talking about the flag. He's talking about the flag. But when you listen to all other media agencies, CNN, Fox, well, I ain't gonna say Fox. I don't listen to them. I will listen to them every now and then. But CNN, ESPN, all the sports agencies, they have said the same thing over and over again, that it's not about the flag. Skip Bayless, yeah. So what I'm saying, he brought it, since he made it prevalent. It's so big that the whole point's getting across.
It's not about Kaepernick anymore. It's not about Kaepernick anymore, and his name is not even coming up. What it's about now is taking a knee. The whole topic and the whole cause has changed. It's gone away from what Kaepernick did and why he did it to just the idea of somebody taking a knee for the national anthem. That's what the issue is about now. It's not about what Kaepernick did. He's totally overshadowed that completely. We're not even talking about that. We're talking about whether or not you have the right to take a knee. That's the issue now. It's not what Kaepernick did. That's all a part of Donald Trump's plan, is to overshadow what Kaepernick did so we can talk about taking a knee. That's what you and I are talking about, taking a knee. Okay? Is it constitutional, or do you have a right to take a knee during the national anthem? Now let's go back to the national. That's about taking a knee. Let's just fall into Donald Trump's plan and talk about taking a knee. Well, does the hot dog vendor, the Coke vendor, the gift shop, do they shut down and not sell anybody anything during the national anthem? No. So basically, what you're doing, you're picking and choosing what you want to do during the national anthem. It's not mandatory that they take a knee. I don't even think it's mandatory that they actually be out there doing the national anthem. Okay, so this is all part of Donald Trump's smokescreen. It's it's not Kaepernick anymore. He started this, but now Donald Trump is taking it to a whole new level. And what's happened is that the NFL has gotten caught up in Donald Trump's master plan, and now the NFL has a problem. Okay, now do we follow what we suspect our fan base is, who supports the quote-unquote flag, or do we support our black players who support the cause? Okay, so where do we stand in here? They walking a fine line. They can't say, well, we're going to make you stand up like NASCAR did. NASCAR can do that because ain't nobody black to do it. So you can talk all that mess in NASCAR, but in the NFL, when you got 80% of the players are black, and then what you really don't want to do is start telling black folks what they can't do. That's when you got a real problem. So the NFL is going to meet this week.
I don't think it's just black folks. It's not just black folks. It's just injustice, because you got players out there from all different nationalities. So it's not necessarily about black folks. That was what Kaepernick originally started out doing. But these players, just like with the Atlanta Falcons, this is a united thing, man. These guys are It's brotherhood. These players, they play together, man. They fight and they play together. So when they join hands together and when they kneel down as a team together, when they raise up as several players together, this is united. So what people are trying to do is trying to divide the team and trying to say it's only black players. That's not true. That's not
keep
true.
In mind this. Keep in mind, no, you're correct. You're absolutely correct. It's not only black players. However, the situation is this affects black players first. White players are in support of the cause of their black teammates. But this is a black cause. White folks are supporting us. Okay? Let's not get this mixed up. White folks ain't going to get shot at there with a broken taillight. It's only black folks. It's home for us. Okay? They are supporting us because of they are our teammates. They feel the same way we do, or they're married to somebody black. That's why they're there. Okay? But let's not get this mixed up. This ain't no white cause by no such imagination. Okay? White folks ain't getting shot in the back, or getting choked, or getting shot in the middle of the street. That ain't happening. Okay? White folks don't even get shot when they shoot at the police. Okay, so let's make sure we clear that up. Okay. Now, when the NFL goes into their meeting this week and discusses this topic, what are they gonna come out with? Are they gonna come out on support of Donald Trump and what they suspect their fan base is, and try to make everybody be obedient when the national anthem is played, or are they going to allow the players to protest in whatever way they choose? Because that is what America is built on. America is built on your choice or your right to choose how to do whatever you do. Now, there are consequences behind it, but you have the right to choose.
I agree with that. That's the point I'm making. I don't think that the NFL and the players, the black players, white players, or whoever, is going to have an issue if the league says, you know what, we're going to make this mandatory that all players must stand during the national anthem. I don't think that's the problem. And see, that's the and no, it's not a problem because see, now you're trying to say you're trying to say that the players want to disrespect the flag. The players don't want to disrespect the flag. Again, I say, like I said before, there's many players out there that's got family members. Some of them got family members in the military right now. Grandfathers, mothers, daddies, whatever, that's in the military. So that's not their intention to disrespect the flag. That's other ways you can protest. If the NFL league says, and the owner said, listen, what we're going to do is we're going to do this, but we're going to give you guys another opportunity to show your unity and show your that you're protesting in a different manner. I believe they'll come up with something like that. I don't have a problem with that, and I don't think most of the players will. Because go ahead.
If they do that, then the players have lost the battle and the owners have won. If they come out and say we're gonna make you stand up, you're taking away my right to protest how I see fit.
Well, you got to keep in mind too. You got to keep in mind too. Is you know. The team is owned by some owners, and if you went to work and your boss told you, Eric, tomorrow you're going to come in and you're going to stand up in attention for 15 minutes with everybody else before you start to work, and if you said no, I'm not going to do that, you won't have a job.
That's true.
And they have that option.
There are going to be consequences around it. Okay, let's not be mistaken. There are consequences around it, but you cannot come back out here and tell me that there's not a rule for what I am doing. Now you're going to go behind closed doors and create a rule to tell me I can't do what I was doing that was instigated by a third party.
The NBA done it.
Instigated by a third party.
The NBA done it. They can do it. The owners own the teams. And if the owners have a meeting, they said this is what they want to do, and they come together and say do it, hey, they're going to do it. When you do that, if you come out and do this, then what's going to happen is this. The owners have taken a side with the President of the United States, and they're going to force you to do something that you were opposed to the beginning. So now you got a bigger problem. Well, no. I wouldn't agree with that, because what I would say is that it's like when they're trying to pass a law and when they're trying to pass a bill, and that's two different sides of it. I mean, they might say, well, you know what, we will do that, but the players union to come in and say, well, what we need from you guys is something that gives our people, my players, the opportunity to protest in a different manner. If you want to stand up for the flag and not disrespect the flag, we'll do that. But what are you going to give us? So I do believe it's
That's
going to be
not.
it's going to be
But
something else that can be used, because like I said,
you
what's
can't.
going on here?
You can't.
Not only you're affecting the players, you're affecting the people coming to the game, and you're affecting the game
You can't give me
overall.
anything else. You can't give me anything else. You can't give
It's
me
going to
anything
happen
else.
that way.
As well,
Mark my
you
word.
can't give me. You can't give me anything. You can't sit there and take something that was not a rule, that's not written down. It was a recommendation that they be out there. It's not a rule that you can't do, that you can't sit on the bench. Let's look at it. Keep in mind now. Keep in mind. Do you know how long? What's the brother name for Oakland? What's the brother name running back for Oakland? What's his name?
Marshawn Lynch?
Marshawn Lynch. Do you know how long he sat on the bench when doing the national anthem?
No.
Nobody knows. He was on the bench for 2 years. Nobody knows. Keep in mind, Kaepernick.
Again, I told you that this thing, even when Kaepernick did it, it wasn't as big as it was now. The president made it. The president has made this matter as big as it is right now.
Exactly right. You're exactly right. Now, what cannot happen is that they cannot go in behind closed doors and take something that was not a rule and decide to make a rule. They can do it now. Let me repeat, they can do it. But what could be the ramification when they do that? Okay, how are your black players going to take that when you're going to take something that we've used as a protest and take it away from us? You're making us do this. Okay?
They will take
not a rule.
something away, but they will give you something in return. I don't
They
believe they'll
can
just
give
take.
you- they
I don't
can
think
give
the
you some
league or the
of the
owners will take it
They
away
can give
from
you some of
you.
these back. But they can give you some of these back.
They're
They
not
can't do
telling
that.
you can't protest. They just telling you have to stand up for the flag. That's the
you
point.
gotta keep it. You see what you're missing is that that knee. When you take that knee, that's symbolic of something that we were using to protest. Okay, that knee, and that knee must stay. Okay, you cannot take that knee away from us. Okay, if you take that knee away from us, there will be ramifications. You can't give us anything that's going to be of equal value. You can't say, well, you got to stand up now, but we're going to let you do this. No, you're not. Okay, you're not going to do that. Okay, this is what we chose to do. This is what we are going to do. Now, if you're going to suspend me or whatever, then you go ahead and suspend me. Okay. Now, the problem they're going to run into
That's
is
easy
that
to say
this
when
is going to destroy the
that's
game.
easy to say when you're not making $2 million, $3 million a year.
Well, and that's true, and that's a decision that they got to make.
Yeah.
Okay, they got to make that. Okay. Now, again, I don't know what I would do, but they got to make that decision. But regardless of what decision they
You
make,
don't know what you would do if you. Okay, let's put you in a situation. You just came to the league this year. Let's use the quarterback of Dallas. What's his name? Dak Prescott. This guy in Dallas. He's making all this money. I don't know. I couldn't tell you what his salary is right now. But let's say he's making all that money. Let's say he's making $2.5 million a year, roughly. Let's just say that, okay?
Okay.
And all of a sudden, the owner comes in. Jerry Jones comes in and say, "Look, players on my team are all going to stand for national anthem. If not, you won't have a job here." Would you take a risk? You just got in there last year. Would you take a risk and say, you know what? I'm kneeling regardless of what goes on? You're not going to do it. He's not going to do it. Zeke's not going to do it, and half the team not going to do it.
Right.
If you got some, only person, if anybody on the team would do it, it's a player that's been there for years, don't have nothing to lose, that made his money, and it's probably going to be his last year in the NFL. So
you're absolutely right.
So what's the point?
Or unless you get enough people to do it at once. Now you get small individual pockets, you're absolutely right. Okay, but if Dak and Zeke can be amongst 50 players to do it, then the owner's got to deal with the 50 players as opposed to the 2 players. That's the difference. Okay, it's the owner's got to deal with a large number of players. They're going to have it totally different than a few.
But the owners also got to deal with the fans. They got to deal with the fans. If the fans decide, and from what I heard in the what the president was saying, that walk out. If they start doing this, he's telling people to walk out. So if you go to a ball game and all of a sudden people start to kneel and people start to walk out, now you're hitting the owners in the back pocket. Now you're affecting the league. So now it's more controversial.
That's the problem.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
But
they're going to have to do something. And what's going to happen is that they don't sit there now and allow Donald Trump to create this problem. Now, the way that the league can solve this problem, you know what, is to come out and say, you know what, if our players choose to protest during the national anthem, that's their right. And make a stand right there. Okay? If you make a stand and say that's their right to do that, this whole thing will blow over, okay?
Well, that's what Arthur Blank said. That's what Arthur Blank said. He didn't care. But you know, he is only one order in the league with a lot of other. That's why they're meeting. That's why they're all coming together saying, "Hey, look,
you know
I think whatever the majority of the owners decide is what's going to happen. Even with the commissioner, you got to go with the majority. Again, you were talking about players. You can't have one or two players here and there doing it. You got to have it. You got to have it all across the league. You got to have half the team kneeling. You know, that's when it's like, okay, you know what, this ain't working. But that ain't gonna happen, and we know that ain't gonna happen.
But keep in mind, even if the owners go back there and say, this is what we're gonna do, that ain't necessarily gonna mean that they're all gonna do that. Jerry Jones already put his stake in the sand. He already put his stake in the sand. We know what Jerry Jones is gonna do. You know. Now I'm curious to see what the players are gonna do. You know. But if they go back to now, the Donald Trump and put the owners in a bad spot. So they don't cause a division between the players and the fans, which is the last thing he wants to have. But he's already done it. So now the owners got to come up with some kind of way to appease one of the groups, so the other group gonna be pissed off. That's just the bottom line. Okay, you got these NFL players and there's only one NFL game in town. There's only one NFL game in town. It's the number one watched sport on TV, okay? It's millions of dollars of revenue. They're making tons of money, okay? They're in a bad situation, okay? And NBA players ain't gonna put themselves in this kind of situation, okay? They gonna put that stake in the sand up front and let them know right from the very beginning, this is what's gonna happen, okay? And then you got the players union that's gonna get involved. Now, one of the things that can happen too is that let's say the owners come out and say they're going to make everybody stand up. The NAACP and the ACLU can come out and file a lawsuit. Okay? They come out and file a lawsuit. You know, even though you're paying me on a job to do something, if I choose to do this and you're going to penalize me, basically what you're doing, you're cutting off my net worth, my potential income. And that's probably illegal. When you sit me on the bench, that's affecting my potential income, okay? Or if you trade me, then you don't fire me for no reason whatsoever. That's a lawsuit.
I agree.
So this thing can grow. It can grow up real big.
I totally agree with that.
All this was done by Donald Trump appeasing his family. That's all it was. That's all it was. And he didn't care less about what happened. He's sitting back laughing at everybody.
I agree. Hey, listen, it's been powerful. And we wanted to do 30 minutes of power, and we're right at 28 minutes right now. I got a couple more minutes. What I want to do is I want to give you an opportunity to wrap up and kind of wrap this thing up and give me your take on where you think this thing is going and what could possibly happen. Do you think we'll go to a strike or something? Players won't play. Do you think that players will just say, "Okay, we're going to do it," and everything it's going to go away in a couple of months? What's your opinion, and what say you? Then I'll wrap this thing up after that.
Well, I think the key to the whole thing is when the players meet this week, they're going to come up with some sort of decision. So we already know, once you go into that meeting, you already know what Jerry Jones is going to say. He's going to want everybody to stand up, and he's going to take this stand about the flag and all this other stuff. Then you got owners like Arthur Blank, who's going to say, well, we need to stand with the players, okay? So whatever they come out with out of that meeting is going to dictate the climate of the rest of this season and any lawsuits coming out.
And that's it?
That's it.
And that's it?
Right, yeah. You got to wait till the meeting's over.
Okay, this is my opinion. Folks, controversial or not, we all know that the president has spoken, and is a disagreement that he should not get involved in sports. There's some people think, like myself. But I do believe that there will be some type of resolution to this problem. I think the team, the owners will sit down, players union, and decide what to do. We might not like their opinion. We might not like their decision, but we want to keep the game of football going. I do believe, my opinion is, and I don't know this for a fact, I'm just speaking it, I do believe that they'll come to a solution. It might be where the team has to stand for the national anthem, which I think is the right thing to do. I think the light on the injustice against Black Americans in this country has already been brought to attention. I think that with the help of Donald Trump, he's echoed what Colin Kaepernick has said earlier. So I think that's been done, but I think it's more need to be done, and I think that'll happen. But right now, I want to see some football. I want to see football on Thursday. I want to see football on Saturday, Sunday, Monday night. And I agree. Like I said before, owners don't like being told what to do, but the owners are put in a position right now with the president keep bringing this thing to the light. They got to protect them players. They got to protect their fans. So what do? Only thing they can do is sit down and talk about it, whether we like it or not. It's a company. The NFL is a company, a big company, a corporation, and you got owners that own separate teams. And if your boss told you when you went to work, "Hey man, you didn't do it when we first started, but from here on out, you got to stand up and come to attention with everybody else in this office for the first 10 minutes or 30 minutes. And if you don't do it, you can find another job." These guys are making millions and millions of dollars. I don't think they're all gonna kneel down. I think a lot of people, it's not easy to get into the NFL. There's a lot of players that want to be in the NFL, and I think some of the owners like Jerry Jones, I'm just my opinion, like Jerry Jones, I think he'd take it, depending on the players, he would put people on the bench. He would suspend them. He would let them go and start from the front because he don't have nothing to lose. He's done it with coaches. He's done it with players and cut them loose. So it's tough. We might not like it. It might be a hard bubble to swallow. But folks, this is the NFL. This is the game, people's game. We don't own it. So we got to respect what's going on. Again, I pray for the President of the United States. This conversation and this topic has never been against the President. It's always been about the conversation and what the cause behind the conversation. But I pray for the president that he can hear from God and do the right thing to protect the people of the United States of America. And like the president, like the message that most presidents always say, God bless America and God bless the president of the United States. Hey, this is D. Thomas. This is the Mic is Hot. And I'm out of here, y'all. Have a good night.